But for right now, Chad Green, sitting in front of your screen in the Bond Coat Ford Mustang. His son just won the top alcohol dragster category, and we talked to him about that as well. His son won earlier in the year. We talked about that idea of being a father, watching your son win. Imagine if Chad Green pulls this off, the father-son double on the same day.
Well, it could well be a career day, and, you know, of course, Chad Green, as good as they have not been able to go home with the trophy. You can now see Tim Wilkerson going under that tunnel. Looks like the turnaround is pretty quick to hit the mark for this live show that we're going to see here in the final.
Bruno's actually down there in the starting line with more on Chad Green.
You know, Brian, it's funny you were talking about his son Hunter winning a fuel dragster, top alcohol dragster. I was back in the pits and wanted to get Chad's, you know, input, his thought process, his ability to try and get his first victory in a funny car. And he said, today's the day. It's just that simple. My son won. I need to win this thing and finish things off. This would make up for all those semifinal losses, all the heartache we've had this season. We've had a great season. I think we've gone beyond our expectations, but we need to finish it, and today is the day we need to finish it. Daniel Wilkerson told me that right now we're a couple hundredths behind Dad going into this final round, but we're throwing the works at it. The kitchen sink and everything else we can find, we're going at it because we're going to go down swinging if we're going to go down.
Makes sense. Chad Green does have a national event victory, but it came behind the wheel of his Pro Modified car. He has never won a national event in Nitro Funny Car. Tim Wilkerson, of course, has won 34 of them. His last one coming in Seattle, Washington this year. The Skag Power Equipment, Levi Ray and Shout Mustang has been good. Chad Green, though, when I look at the raw performance, yes, they may be a couple of hundredths behind in raw performance data, but that human performance number does favor Chad.
Well, look, they need only to go back to what they did in the last qualifying run. They out-qualified Tim Wilkerson.
Yes.
They saved their best for the last shot, that 389. There's no doubt about it. They're going to go to those notes. They're going to potentially put the clutch settings exactly where they were during that run. You know, there's always a chance they could try to polish that up a little, get the car to run quicker. In the past, it's run as quick as 386. So right now, I'm sure that they realize that right now, Tim Wilkerson has the edge coming into this final.
It is, as we talked about the other day, the undercard moment of the final of this afternoon. This is a great heavyweight undercard fight, but the real fight sitting right behind him around the corner. Here comes the funny car final. Both Chad Green and Tim Wilkerson complete their burnouts. Beautiful shot by our drone operator Tom Stout here in the Pep Boys drone. As we continue to wind our way to the end of this season, it'd be remiss if I didn't thank so many people involved in our NHRA on Fox crew at every single aspect, including Randy Farrow, one of our dedicated starting line shooters who is celebrating a birthday today with a snoot full of nitro. This is Randy Farrow's look from the starting line. Tony, his vantage point often requires a nose over an open header.
Well, look, hey, Randy's braver than I am at this stage. I mean, he gets a taste. He gets to feel what it's like when two of these nitro cars go wide open throttle. It is a small earthquake. I'm from Southern California. It's over a 3 on the Richter scale.
There's Randy in his chosen place of work. Phil Schuler looks on, turns around. Chad Green's car moving over. Jared Franklin, our jib operator in the starting line, an incredible talent. A veteran, much like his brother Josh, who has been working our jib camera.
There's a car leaning out on the starting line. A little peculiar. The team was looking. It may have been Wilkerson.
Daniel saying that one's on me. He was just pointing to his chest like that was me. So whether he might have leaned on a link. I mean, if you lean on the linkage, you got big problems. But something was going on there.
Yeah, at this stage, everything seems to be normal. Back to normal.
The final round of the final race in Nitro Funny Car of 2023. Chad Green's out first by a bunch. They get to the finish line stripe, and it's Chad Green. 391.6 on a whole shot, a 33 light, and these guys are going to pigpile themselves on the starting line. Daniel Wilkerson, Dean Marinas, their entire crew. What a fantastic end to their year.
That's how it started for Chad Green. He was at the top of the list all year long. In terms of reaction time, he took care of business on the starting line. The tuner helped him out a little bit, gave him a better car, but still 100th of a second. But we can clearly see the difference on the starting line. This is a driver that wanted it, and he wanted it real bad.
Dan Wilkerson's with Bruno, and he might be levitating down there.
Yeah, Dan Wilkerson, let's just say he is taking in this moment, and for good reason. He just went out there, he beat his dad, he gave his team owner and his driver his first ever win behind the wheel of a Nitro Funny Car, and this was special for so many reasons. And for the man behind the wheel, he doubled up with his son. What does it feel like for you? What are you going through emotion-wise right now?
I'm empty, man. I got nothing left. To make that come true for them guys, I've been dreaming of winning a race with my dad for 10 years, 15 years. To get Chad and Hunter to be able to do that, yeah, I'm almost speechless, man. These kids on this car work so hard. Hey, don't go anywhere without me. Stop that Tahoe. They worked their butts off to make it happen for them. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. Thank you.
Hey. Hunter Green on the right side. That is Chad's son, and here comes big Chad Green of Midland, Texas, climbing out of the race car. Going to give Tim Wilkerson a hug, and honestly, he wouldn't be here without Tim Wilkerson.
No, he really wouldn't. But, you know, Chad Green is he's straight out of a Western movie, a pistolier, very sharp, very keen. You can see just the respect. But, you know, I mean, how better can the season end when your son and the experience that they have together is able to win, and that puts more pressure on you because he knows he's in the final. Couldn't have worked out better for Chad Green.
Let's watch again. We watched that 033 light. He took care of business up there.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the difference right there. See the header flames? It just quicker reaction time for Chad Green, and he's just, you know, he was hearing the footsteps. He knew that it was going to be a tough race, and you know, like we've talked about all day, some of these drivers, when they know that they're going to be in a tough haul, they try to make up some of the difference on the starting line. It's a payback to the team that has done such a good job.
Mean Joe Green? Man, we don't got one of those. We got something better. We get a big old Chad Green, and he's down there with Amanda Busick.
And Brian, he keeps looking in the distance because he knows his team's going to be here at any moment. And Chad, in your 50th race, your son just won in Top Alcohol Dragster ahead of this, and you won this on a hole shot, your first Wally. You are a Nitro Funny Car winner. How long have you waited to hear that?
Well, we've been waiting all season. We've been working hard for this all season. I have to say it's been an amazing season for us, and I can't think of a better way to end it than this right here. And on top of it, my son got the win today, so we got the double up. So there's going to be some double up party tonight, let me tell you. Woo!
Yeah! And here comes the crew. As we are heading into the offseason, I'm telling you to go back and listen to this. You can go back and listen to Tony and I with Chad Green on the NHRA Insider Live. We did it in the pits yesterday, and watching it after this day has happened, it's phenomenal. There's Dean Marinas with his sunglasses on. He and Chad have such a strong relationship, and Dan Wilkerson, they work so well as a unit. The only guy in the class bigger than him just put his hands around his neck.
That's right. The best news for Chad Green, free refills at In-N-Out.